Hola, and welcome to another edition of the Big O Show, starring Orestes Destrade, former major leaguer, Japanese legend, former Rays broadcaster, and quite frankly, the best dude I know.
Oh, wow. That's a...
Sorry, all my other friends.
that's an alley-oop. Today, best friend I know today. That's an alley-oop right there for the big man.
How are you, partner?
I'm hanging in there, man.
Condolences. I know many of your fans know that you recently lost your mom. We talked about it on my show today.
Yeah.
You got a lot of well-wishers out there.
I really appreciate it.
Celebrating your incredible mom.
Naya Destrade, Elincel Destrade, what a special person she was. I was very blessed. Obviously, 3 months ago, a little over 3 months, lost my dad at 95 and mom at 92. So listen, once you get parents that were together for almost right. In fact, their anniversary is the 10th. Our service is going to be on the 10th, kind of commemorate their anniversary. They were together for over 70 years from Cuba into the United States. You have to be blessed. You have to be thankful.
Yeah. Still sad, but
it's still sad. It is. And the way that I look at it is like, my dad was kind of a shock, even though he was 95, he was strong as hell. It was really the last 10 days of his life that he got ill and then he passed. My mom had been dealing with dementia. Yeah. And the last year was really, really rough. So, and especially after my dad passed, it seemed like she just went and said, I need to go join him. But she lived a wonderful life. So many people have reached out to me from the Miami area that not only family and friends, but also former students that have, through social media. In fact, I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not super active in social media. But people have found their way to reach out to me through that and remind me what an influence she was. She was, came over at 35, learned English, got her teaching degree, then went to night school at Nova University, got her master's degree in teaching, and taught for over 40 years, specifically at Coral Way Elementary for around 30 years. So the principal at Coral Way, some of her teachers have reached out. She left an imprint on people, so, and on this life. So we're very thankful.
People.
Yeah, we're very thankful.
And then extrapolate that into their kids and their families.
Yeah, that's why I said on your show that there's a semblance of levels of greatness that people can achieve, and when I look at her and I think of her, she actually achieved more than I did, and I have. So I hope that my time left on this earth, I kind of think of her and say there's more to achieve. There's more kindness, more love, more to give. So you leave this earth the way that she did, which is she left it better because she gave better, and I'm a big believer in our lives are a physical 3D reality that we live in, but we are spirit beings, and
agreed.
And so the rest of her journey is before her.
Yeah. It's what we leave here on earth is our relationships and our impact, our kindness, and how we can help others.
Right.
And as you and I get closer to the end and we deal with the loss of our parents, it just really impacts you differently. And you look at the world a different way, and you just say, I want to be kind to everybody I see. You never know what they're going through. You want to help them through life. Be happy. Yeah. And if you're not doing that, why the hell are we here?
Well, yeah. What ends up happening if you don't realize that, then you really are living an ignorant life. Then you're just
and a sad life.
Yeah, a sad life of not
noticing. A selfish life.
And inside of that, it's different things that appeal to us, right? So she was an educator, and that's so important, right? I've always, because of her, I've always, regarded education. That's why for many, many years, right as she was retiring from teaching in the mid 90s. I kind of said, okay, from now on, whenever I sign a ball or anything to a kid, I'm going to sign, play hard, study harder. It was an honor of her.
Like, that's nice.
There's so many parents. It's been kind of cool on my part that I've had, this has been going on since the mid 90s, that I've had parents come up to me at the Trop and stuff and said, you signed, they had a picture or they actually have the ball. You signed this for my son. He was 10. Now he's, 28 and he went to college and he really, loves that play hard, study harder.
It's just it makes an impact.
Those little
someone
things.
Like you,
but also sports. So it was education, sports, other parts that you like in life, whatever it might be, and computer science or this and that you're a passion from. And obviously our audience, your JP Peterson show audience, we love sports. And so how do you take that, report it, educate it, inform it, excite it? And I think that's what really kind of life ends up being.
Make people's lives better through it.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that.
Of sports.
We're going to talk about that in conjunction with this Rays project and bringing the community together.
I think it's a perfect
We're
segue.
So isolated. Everything we do in life and everything society is teaching us is to go home, cocoon, get on your phone, watch your Netflix, don't leave the house.
You aren't either. The information is great.
They're trying to isolate us and not come together. And this vision that they have is the antithesis of that. It wants to bring us together in baseball and enjoying life.
Walking around and
seeing people and going to bars and restaurants. It's like, people don't want to do that now. People, and I get it because people are rude and blah blah.
Well, it even got worse after 2020.
Right.
It really did, and people cocooned themselves.
And that was the whole plan.
That was the plan, and it's had his lock
them in their houses.
Well, and it's left a trail,
a residue,
a residue of that type of feeling, but also simplicity. See, because we're human nature is that we tend to like, okay, so we're going to probably try to take the easy way out. So I'm not going to, do this. Or I'm not going to do that. If you're taking, compare sports and education together, because I'm huge about sports and education. I always have been in my life. And you look at like even the education system right now, you and I were talking about that we're actually testing, I say we, the United States of America on a whole, are testing worse.
Oh, one of the worst in the world.
Because we're using more tech and the kids aren't writing things down. They're not,
reading books. Everything's on a computer and a screen.
Having, the classes, a lot of them are online. And even though they're virtually seeing the teacher, it's not the same.
No, there's no community. You're sitting alone in your room.
Right. And
my 10-year-old stepdaughter sits alone in a room and has
it's crazy. You would think it wouldn't dumb you down, but it dumbs you down.
And the data on this now is incontrovertible. Like you're talking about in Japan, they don't do that.
Japan, they do not do that, man. Oh. They have to go to school. They have to be present. They go to school 6 days a week, shorter days, but an extra day. They go to they go to school afterwards too, kind of like the Hindu, have like extra schooling. Not all of them have to, but most do. So the education, we need to kind of get back to that. And I don't know when and where that's going to happen, but it trickles down to all the different aspects, even into the sports and how we watch sports. I mean, there's something to be said about tailgating and about connecting with people. And that's the one thing I do love about college football. That's the one, not the one. I love a lot of things about college football, but a lot of college sports is you'll get these small towns or bigger towns that they come together so beautifully. You experienced it both as a co-ed, but also at reporting it, and then afterwards at a greater level of reporting it and being a fan. Every time you tell me that you're going to Florida State, you're excited about that particular game. This and that. But you're like, man, I get to be with my people, and we're gonna, get together,
come together, and see people,
come together, and that's the beauty of sports. In fact, we'll talk a little bit about the WBC, and that's kind of one of the things I'm glad that baseball did that many years ago, because again, it's bringing people together and creating that excitement through sports. The greatest thing about the Olympics is that for a moment in time, for those periods of weeks, guns are put aside, most of the time. There's been some hiccups, but most of the time it's about the athleticism and the camaraderie, even between the different countries.
Bringing the world together.
Yeah.
And sports.
And sports does that.
Yeah.
Education does that.
So we're going to start the show by talking about these beautiful renderings. Yes, we have renderings again.
We have renderings.
We have renderings.
I joked about that on your show.
And I got mad at you.
Renderings. And you got mad at me.
But these are non-Stu related renderings. So we have to understand that all the sins of the past administration cannot be put upon the new administration, because this is a new group. And I know you didn't get a chance to watch the interview with Bob Buckhorn that we did yesterday.
I saw clips of it.
Yeah.
I saw clips of it. I thought Bob did a great job.
And future mayor, yeah. And he is so into this project.
Yes, he really is.
And this dude, like, I'm going to tell you, want to talk about a guy that is not into giving away tax dollars to billionaires. That's him. Like, that's not his thing.
He's always been.
But he's always been good about public-private partnerships. Right. And we talk about bringing people together. Before I get into that part of it, I mean, look at this. This is a walkable community, and people were complaining about, oh, it's not walkable, it's in the middle of Drew Park. I mean, look, Drew Park is run down. I'm like, you idiots. They're building a community. Correct. It's 130 acres of a community. They're making a walkable community. It's not Drew Park,
right?
So, and it's the baseball stadium, and they have the Champions Quarter, which is going to be a huge outdoor venue with bars and restaurants and theaters and a concert venue, and then you have condominiums, apartments
that are going to connect Raymond James.
Connect across a college.
Yeah,
a college. Hillsborough College is going to be reimagined.
Talk about sports and education, my friend.
There you go. and instead of pumping a whole lot of money into refabbing some old awful buildings at Hillsborough College, they're going to reimagine the college as a new campus. And the state is going to pay for a big part of that, which is great for our education. And these students are going to get great opportunities and internships within the Rays and jobs. It's going to create 11,908 jobs. By the way, these numbers are from an independent real estate company group that did the economic impact. And again, as with the studies that say they have no income impact, which I think are garbage, these studies can also be manipulated. I'll be completely transparent about this, but it's an independent group. Right. 8 million square feet, $34 billion in economic impact was their economic forecast over the 30-year period.
Sure.
But more than anything, this is bringing people together, not first and foremost through sports, keeping our baseball team here, which to me is a huge part of value added to living in Tampa Bay. I mean, you've been in baseball all your life.
Yes.
You're a pretty gregarious social person.
Right.
And you've become, you were picked to be on Baseball Tonight for years and years and years because you love the game of baseball and everybody loves you. You're telegenic,
right? And
you are a great communicator. You love people. This sport brings people together. 31,000 seats. And that's where sports to me excels in this.
Well, it's cross-denominational too.
Yes.
You end up reaching, and remember, this is Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is so cross-denominational. You know what I mean? The cross-cultural is the beauty of Tampa Bay. And this is something that can bring people together, not just 8 or 10 times on a Sunday or a Thursday night or a Monday night. It's bringing them together for a multiplicity of different things. And it becomes a district. The catch, the transparent catch is, how is it going to get paid?
Right.
That's the crux. I'd be surprised if you go downtown Tampa and you take 100 people and you ask them, do you want this? I bet you it'd probably be 87% will say, yes, I want it. Right. It would be the surprise of the 13% that was like, I don't want to be bothered with this. But probably more than 80% will say, I want it. Now, those 87%, the majority are going to go, well, how is it going to get?
Who's paying for it?
Who's paying for it? How is it getting paid for? Because it's understood, by the way, JP, that, it's a private public scenario. Where it gets hinky right now is trying to put your arms around, okay, the past deal a year ago that was nixed, all right, but agreed to before it was nixed, was 1.3. $600 million there, so a little over that, coming from Pinellas County and St. Pete City. Now all of a sudden it's going to encroach into probably $1 billion by county and city and state. That's where the people are going to have a little trouble trying to figure out how this is all going to get matriculated out. And that's logical.
Yes. What we have to understand is this is not, as many people will present it in other media places. Oh, we are giving $1 billion to billionaires so they can make billions of dollars. And that's not how this works.
Right.
What the plan is, and I'll keep this as simple but as detailed as I can, is to take what I would call our user fees. Those are CRA taxes, CDD taxes for people. If you come into this district and you buy a Coke, you buy a beer, there's going to be a tax. Okay. Tourist taxes, hotel taxes for people that come in here and tourists. There's a tax at the bottom that goes. Property taxes within this district, which, by the way, right now are producing no property taxes.
Correct. The
college costs the city, state, and county money. They reap no property tax benefits from it. With their $8 to $10 billion investment, theirs, not just ours, but theirs, they're putting in 8 to 10. We're putting in 1.15. Okay. That is going to create properties, those condos that you see, those apartments, those offices, all those are going to be paying property taxes.
Right.
And that is money that currently is not being generated right now. And you can say, well, somebody will come in and develop. No, they won't. They haven't done it for 20 years in that area.
Longer than that.
That this has been a CRA.
Yeah.
So that wasn't going to happen. It's not like the Trop land that is super valuable that developers line up to get. Nobody wanted it. Okay. So now if you bring a baseball stadium there, people go, oh, well, you have a baseball stadium? If I'm a developer, I'll take that.
Yeah. So I want to build around it.
But you don't have them. These guys have the baseball. They have the baseball team that will play in the base. So they're bringing an asset.
They have the ball.
If
you build it, they will come.
That 10, 15 other cities would line up for now. But we have that $1.7 billion asset for an expansion fee right now. It's going to be $2 to $2.5 billion. We have it
quickly.
We have it. So now the state says, well, we could just reimagine the college on that site, take the rest of that wasted area right now and give it to you guys to develop. You'll make something out of it that now becomes valuable and can bring back that tax money, that billion, tenfold. Well, how do you know that? Well, we just did it with Water Street.
Yeah.
That's what the mayor said yesterday. We pitched in, the county and city gave $50 million each. So $100 million to a billionaire, Jeff Finnick.
Yeah.
For his area around his stadium.
Yeah.
It's the same type of concept. And the mayor said, we are going to reap $1.2 billion in tax money from Water Street. So we gave that billionaire, what are you giving billionaires money for? This is why you do it. Because if you help them invest, they build it, you produce $1.2 billion in tax revenue. So that's a tenfold return on the community investment.
Yeah.
So if we put in $1.5 billion and if $34 billion impact, if we get half of that, if we get $5 billion, we already got our money back.
Right.
So
it's almost to some degree, and I'm not trying to dumb it down, but you deal with a builder, and let's just say they build you, let's go high because not everybody's buying $1 million houses, but they build you $1 million house, right? And it costs them a lot less to build that house, so they're getting richer.
They're getting a profit.
They're going to profit.
These guys are going to make money on this.
House, right? It probably costs them $600,000 to build a house. They're going to profit, and you're like, "Well, I have to pay this guy." Yes, but now you have this $1 million house that in a few years is worth 2.5.
That's right.
So that's kind of the way you have to look at this thing. Yes, the rich are going to get richer, but the people in the community are also going to get ingratiated and richer by the fact that not only do you have a beautiful place, but it's bringing in revenue.
Yeah. So we're lending them money to get it built, to get it started, giving them the land, get it built, get it started. And in 3 years, we open a stadium in this beautiful area. And I'll put the picture up again there.
It is. I love the rendering.
It brings us together.
Yeah.
As a community. We keep our baseball team, which I think is a tremendous asset to this area. And we have this incredible area that we can all gather instead of sitting in our little homes and cocoons and becoming isolated. This also gives us as Tampa Bay an incredible sportsplex that the mayor said absolutely is a generator for light rail.
Yeah.
That now we can connect our sports complex with our incredible airport.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Which is right next door.
I just flew in and out of Tampa.
Which
TPA,
we're putting $1 billion into that thing.
Yeah. And with the Concourse D, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
And that's going to be massive. And I was just reminded that this is the most glorious. I've been around the world. Around the world.
Yeah.
This is the most glorious airport in the world.
Incredible asset.
It's an incredible asset.
Yeah.
You fly in or fly out, and you're just going to different spots. I had to connect in Atlanta. It's just horrendous.
It's awful.
Your goal is like when you get out, I hope it's one of the gates that's close
by. To be able to run.
Oh shit! I gotta go to C, and I'm in A,
on the train,
and then walk. So we have that aspect. I do want to ask you a question because I think what you have to look and extrapolate to, again, the big word being legacy for Tampa Bay and the growth of Tampa Bay properly, right? Not too fast, but also not too slow per the reality of life that I think what's happening with Tampa Bay, and I'm saying Tampa Bay, because St. Pete, downtown St. Pete is one of the coolest places that you can go visit.
Awesome.
Downtown St. Pete is...
And it's going to get better when they redevelop the Trop site, by the way.
When they do redevelop gas plant. So my thought is, and my question is, once this is approved, and then you get the approval of, again, a mostly private, but a little bit public with the RJS and what they're going to possibly do there, right? Which is going to be majestic too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If they copy the format of the Hard Rock,
which I think it'll be similar.
It's going to be glorious,
sexy,
right? It's going to be sexy. How much does that raise the Bucks' value?
Oh God,
to have this district there, this beautiful stadium, and I'm not saying that they're going to want to sell 5 or 6 years from now. I would think the Glazers are in it to win it, and for their legacy, might be their kids will take over just like they did with Papa Glazer. Passing it on to Joel and his brothers. How much value more raised? Let's say hypothetically, if this wouldn't have been done or isn't done, I think everybody wins.
Of course, that's the beauty of this. If you look at it as a public investment, that we get all this, which we wouldn't get if we didn't have this new ownership group that wanted to be in Tampa so bad.
To think properly.
Which you have to listen to Mr. Buckhorn talk about this new ownership group. They basically said they're just like Jeff Vinnick. They get it, and they know how to work with local officials to get things done, which is why Rob Manfred handpicked them to get this deal done.
Yeah.
So
handpicked them.
Yeah. All the sins of the past, you can't get it done. It's Hobart County, don't have any money. All that is all false narrative BS. It's just, this is a new group.
The reality, and I want you to continue, but the reality, the reason I said I mentioned handpicked them, is because this is such a delicate and complicated and complex scenario of the unison of proper businessmen with the municipalities and representing the people, right? Because there's 3 entities here. There's the businessmen that own the team. There's the municipalities that are representing the constituents, right? Yeah. So everybody's involved in this.
That's right.
Thing. If you don't have the right municipality leaders and the right owners, that's why handpicking was important.
Yes.
In who you were going to hand the baton to go make this happen.
And that's why they included the local people that live here, the leading businessmen, the Mike Murphys, the Murphy Auto Group, the Fred Ridleys, the Cosgroves. And I know Mr. Zalupski's quote from Jacksonville, but he will be
Weatherford Group.
Weatherford, grew up in Pasco, the great Weatherford family. The Weatherford clan, that's what I like to call them.
Yeah, all people that not only are great businessmen, but
beloved in Tampa Bay
of the community.
Yeah, and by the way, Ron DeSantis grew up in Dunedin.
Yeah,
and
so he knows what to stake.
Yeah, so politically we're aligned. I think there's a rabid fan base here in Tampa Bay that loves the Rays. The ratings prove that. Attendance has always been lack of attendance has always been, I think, a product of a terrible location and a terrible stadium and terrible owners, quite frankly. And we've done it all wrong. And now we've got an opportunity with a great group of owners. If you listen to anybody who's dealt with them so far, Mayor Castor, Mayor Buckhorn, Chris Lotfula over in Pinellas County. Everybody that's dealt with Rob Manfred.
Yeah.
They can't say enough good things about him.
Mike Ferguson,
Dr. Atwater at Hillsborough College, who we just, he's the story is that he was not very high on this idea when he first heard of it. But when he met the group and they got together and they hashed it all out and they figured it out, he's going to end up with a brand new campus.
Yeah.
Instead of rehabbing some old crappy buildings, which is what they were going to do.
Right.
They're going to get a whole new campus. The state's going to put in that money to do that, which is fine with me. It's great. We pay,
and there should be some
taxes
synergies between, like, again, going back to the sports and education thing. There's going to be so many fine things that you can cross.
I mean, you can listen. I understand the people out there. Why are we giving billions of dollars to billionaires? They can afford to fund it themselves. Well, they can, but why would you? If you could go to 10 other cities and they would frankly give them a lot more than they're going to get here if it's just $1 billion.
And it happens all
and
the
we
time.
just saw that happen in Kansas City with the Chiefs. Yeah, some other municipality said, you know what?
Bud Adams with the Houston Oilers.
I think we'd like that. We're going to give you a crap ton of money. And they'll throw it at, because we have an asset that they want. And any other city that's going to get an expansion is going to have to pay $2.5 billion for something we already have.
Amen.
And so if you think, we don't want to make them richer, well, guess what? They're going to get rich anyway.
Exactly.
They're already
rich. Back to the building of a house analogy. Whoever you pick, they're going to get richer for building your house.
And so, to me,
the right house.
This is a win-win-win-win.
Right.
And the previous administration wanted them to win and everybody else to lose. And that's why it never got done, quite frankly. And this is a much different thing.
Well, and I think one of the reasons for that with the former ownership group, if you will, but predominantly obviously with Stewart at the helm. I don't believe, and I know I'm probably saying something that preaching to the choir being JP Peterson and maybe many others, I don't believe they ever looked at it as a legacy.
Oh no, it was a cash cow.
Never looked at it as a legacy. If you're closed-minded and your vision is at most 5 to 10 years. So if my vision is only 5 to 10 years, I'm just looking for ROI at the most optimal way.
Now,
money up front, and then in 5 to 10 years or less, I'm going to be unloading this team and somebody else out. So what this group is creating, and they'll benefit from it, and their kids and their grandkids will benefit from it.
That's the way they look at it. Yep.
It's a legacy deal. That is the key word to this whole thing, and it needs to be done right. But the key word is legacy, and legacy for all three of those things that I was talking about. The ownership group, the municipalities will be applauded years from now, and the constituents, us,
the people, will
reap from the legacy deal.
I'll say one last thing about this, and it's just, we should look at our history. When we were building Raymond James Stadium, there was a civil war about giving money to the Glazers and buying the stadium. And I'm not saying it was the greatest stadium deal at that time. There were issues with that. The Glazers got a lot, and everybody was kind of pissed off about it. Okay, when we look back, that was $190 million to build that stadium.
What was that, 95, 96?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at 3 Super Bowls, national championship games, Outback Bowl games, and we kept our NFL team. If we don't build that stadium, we lose the Bucs.
You lose all.
Can you imagine Tampa Bay losing an NFL team?
Yeah.
How different? We'd have spent the next 20 years trying to get one. And when you try to go get one, it costs you twice as much.
Again, I'll bring up Bud Adams.
Thank you.
Because I was living in Tampa Bay, but also had a house in Nashville at the time when that came down, when the Titans came over and ripped the team from Houston.
And look at Nashville now.
How long did it take for Houston to get the Texans?
Yeah.
Over 20 years.
And look at Nashville. Look at what Nashville's become. Nashville was Ocala 35 years ago.
Yeah. Nashville was okay and nice little town to come into.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Nashville.
No.
And a lot of that was 2 entities that came into town. Predominantly, I'd say 85%, the Titans coming in, and then the Predators came in, and
country music blew up,
around them, and then so
losing a franchise like this sets you back, and you
can't lose it. You just can't,
and then you can flip that with an opportunity that you have a group that wants to spend $8 to $10 billion of their money, and they're going to make money back. Sure, that's great, but what we get back is immeasurable. And so, listen, we don't. The Raymond James Stadium was the greatest bargain in the history of bargains, $190 million, and what we've been able to reap from that. Had we not done it, and the Bucks moved to Orlando would be looking more like Tampa Bay is, and they would have probably gotten the expansion baseball team instead of us. That changed everything. So here we sit with another great opportunity to keep this legacy going. And more than that, again, we did baseball all wrong. Terrible location, although we love St. Pete. Beautiful place.
But
bad
that was
for baseball.
That was from so far back,
right?
Though. You know what I mean?
They told him not to build the stadium there because they knew it was a poor location, and it would never
that was
consistently
1985?
Yeah.
And it just they should have.
The stadium was designed in the early 80s. It was obsolete when it opened. It's just that we did. And then we had two really bad owners. So now we have a chance to have an ownership group that's more like Jeff Vinnick, with a world-class, state-of-the-art baseball stadium and mixed use around it, right next door to what's going to be an iconic football stadium as well. We are going to be the toast of the world. This is a world-class city. We deserve all this, and it's right here within our grasp. And if you want to clutch your pearls and count your little shekels and we're going to give you billionaires any money, I just think it's misguided. I just really do.
I just looked something up because I was just curious because I couldn't remember. I wanted to say $700 million, but the total cost of construction for Lone Depot Park
in Miami
back in 2012 was shy of like $650 million. Oh, by the way, the ownership group there
didn't pay any of it.
I believe maybe 10%.
Yeah, maybe.
And everything else was taken care of by
and the financing of it. The final cost was over $2 billion.
Yes, eventually, yes.
Yeah, with the interest and everything.
Horrible
deal for the people.
It was a terrible deal for the people.
Terrible location. Horrible deal for the people. That's what the St. Pete deal.
No build around it. Right? They've never now you're talking upwards of 13 years, and nothing is 14 years. Has come of building around it.
Huge mistake.
So that's what we're talking about is to make the right legacy move. That was a mistake legacy. There is no legacy there.
No.
I mean, the only legacy there is somebody truly coming in and having the balls, to be honest with you, and having the power, not just the money, because there's money,
but having the
political power to be able to go in there and say we have to gentrify around it, and we got to work. You got to work with us, and we got to move things around.
Can't do it,
and it's going to be it's a tough ask.
Yeah,
it's a tough ask.
You'd have to level thousands of homes,
a lot
in historic neighborhoods.
Yes,
never going to happen.
I don't think it is.
No. So this is it's an incredible. We're taking a piece of property that's basically
available,
producing nothing, and we're turning it into an iconic.
By the way, it's dig ready.
It is shovel ready. So, all right, let's talk a little baseball, shall we?
Dude, why not?
We got some World Baseball Classic is coming up. We got a hockey tournament with all our hockey players going over there in the Olympics, but we also have a baseball tournament.
Forgot about the hockey tournament
with all our Rays players going to play in as well. And we can't wait to see Junior Caminero dominate the World Baseball Classic.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's talk some baseball.
Well, listen, the World Baseball Classic is around the corner. In fact, I'm looking to be in the Dominican Republic again. I remember I reported that I was there for about a week right at the beginning of the year, the 2nd to like the 8th. I was there doing a documentary that's ongoing right now. And the documentary was basically a 3-part documentary. The first part was about winter ball and the history of Dominican Republic, that I'm doing with Brook Knows Baseball and Joel LaFlame, a young, great content creator and producer, director. So we laid down a ton of material for that. The second part is covering the WBC in the early stages, which is coming up. They're going to have a historic game where the Tigers. So those of you that might not know, not only is the WBC starting out, the tournament starts March 5th, runs to the 17th, culminates again like it did 3 years ago in Miami at Lone of all places, Lone Depot Ballpark. I was there and on the field when the Team Japan Samurai won. Their manager's a very dear old not teammate, actually rival of mine, but we were really good friends.
Yeah.
And they invited me on before and after when they won, and I celebrated with them on the field.
That's so cool.
Really, really cool.
So cool.
I was right there by the dugout when he threw that historic pitch, he being Shohei Ohtani on that sweeper that struck out Mike Trout. One of the most exciting ball games.
Yeah.
And I've been a part, and both as a player and a broadcaster and a fan of a lot of exciting games.
Yes, you have.
I really have. Dating all the way back as a young kid, getting a chance to watch the 78 World Series games 3, 4, and 5 in Yankee Stadium. With my cousin. Reggie do his thing, and all of that. And that was one of the most electric atmosphere to show you how.
That's a hell of a comparison right there,
dude, to show you how positively infectious baseball at the global level can be.
Yeah.
It was just out of this world. There was probably 40,000 fans there, about 10,000 Japanese fans. They were driving me crazy because I was walking around the stadium. I went to left field where the big, contingency of the band guys, and I sang with I got videos of me. When we get closer down the road, I'm gonna show you some videos. We'll post it. But I had a blast throughout the whole game. Every 3 innings, I was, down by by home plate for a little while. Then I went to left field. Then I was up in the box with one of the big Japanese sponsors, and then came down for the last couple innings. So what's going on now is that March 2nd and 3rd, I believe, I'll be in Dominican Republic with a historic game between the Tigers and Team Dominican Republic. So, never has a major league team actually taken their whole team and played.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Played, in a game like this. They've gone to Puerto Rico. They've gone to Mexico. Obviously, Korea.
They've been to DR.
No.
Yeah.
So this is a massive, big thing to have happen, and it's going to happen. And they're going to play 2 exhibition games. Plenty of the other teams throughout the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League spring training sites are going to be playing different teams. Like Team Panama is going to play the Yankees over here, Steinbrenner, and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, cool.
Great Britain is playing. I forgot who, the Cubs. I don't know the whole schedule of that. So those games are going to be going on early March as they go into pool play starting March 5th, excuse me. So it's really exciting. I was fortunate enough, JP, during my tenure with 5 years with ESPN, Baseball Tonight, and ESPN Radio and ESPN Deportes, that I was fortunate enough to cover 2006 and 2009. Did games with the great Gary Thorne and Oral Hershiser in the booth in Puerto Rico.
Awesome.
Did the championship games as sideline reporter with Oral and Dan Schulman at the booth, and I was on the field, in the stands, playing my best Todd Callis, if you will, from back in the day. Nothing near Todd Callis. He's the beast. But doing that, so I got a chance to enjoy the flavor of what the World Baseball Classic is from the start of 06, 09. And then it's gone, obviously, 13, 17, hiccup because of the COVID, and then 23. It's only built even more now.
Where's it going to be in 29?
Wow, the championship? Listen, if we pull this off
right over there,
they start digging right away, because a lot of people are thinking there's no way you can build this thing. Yes, you can if it gets approved. I don't mean to go back to that topic, but it pertains to us here in Tampa Bay.
Just thought I'd throw that out there. But imagine
if they push things forward, the key to that is how soon can you start building?
Which we have a question about.
We'll do that, how soon you start building. But getting to the players and the rosters, obviously the big boys, the Shohei Ohtani's playing for Team Japan. USA is stacked. USA is hunting for bear.
Run that roster down. Just some of the guys. You don't have to do all of them, but just, who are some of the guys that are in it?
Well, let me tell you, for example, let's go by teams if you want. I mean, I'll go the Angels. They're big boys that are going. Yusei Kikuchi is pitching obviously for Team Japan. The Astros are going to have Jeremy Pena, the great Jeremy Pena with Dominican Republic. The Athletics are going to have the likes of Luis Severino for the Dominican Republic. Shaw, they're fine player from Chinese Taipei. The Blue Jays have a shitload of guys that are playing. Ernie Clement, Jimenez, Vladdy is playing for Team Dominica. Alejandro Kirk, Mexico, Viva Mexico. The list, Okamoto, obviously for Team Japan. When you go to the Braves, Acuna, Ozzy Albies. This is an interesting Ozzy Albies for Netherlands, which is basically
Curacao.
Yeah. And Javi Guerra for Panama. So well represented this thing. The Brewers probably have the most players. They have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 players.
Damn.
Playing and led by Jackson Churio for Team Venezuela, and obviously William Contreras, also Team Venezuela. You've got the Cardinals with some of their big boys playing on several teams. The Cubs have a bunch. When you get down to the Rays, it's interesting because we actually have more than you think. We actually have, let's see, I just saw the list here. We have about 8 guys led by Junior Caminero, Dominican Republic. Jonathan Aranda is going to be playing for Team Mexico.
Okay.
Garrett Clevenger for the U.S. Gary Hill for Great Britain. Yoendris Gomez, Venezuela. Griffin Jacks going to be hopefully setting up or closing some games for the United States. Edwin Uceta, who I'm expecting to be Fireman of the Year. That's how I'm excited about Edwin Uceta.
Who's he playing for?
The one and only Team Dominican Republic. I'm hoping Team Dominican goes far because that helps my documentary because we're going to continue filming into Miami. Owen Wild. Don't know much about that kid. He's going to be with Great Britain. So the list is phenomenal. Obviously, the defending champs and 3-time champs. No one's won more than once. Is Team Samurai Japan, and led by obviously Yamamoto and the great Otani, a couple other guys to keep an eye on.
So the USA roster, some of the names, Clayton Kershaw just added.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, by the way. To get
Joe Ryan, Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal. 1-2, baby. Get you some of that.
What?
Get you some of the Skeens and Skubal.
Yeah. I mean, early on, especially, they're probably going to limit these guys. Not probably. They are going to limit 60 to 70 pitches. So you're talking about a 4-inning stint. Mm-hmm. But when you're looking, look at the rest of their pitchers.
Behind the plate, Cal Raleigh.
Oh, my gosh.
Will Smith. And then infielders, Bregman, Clement, Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper, Gunnar Henderson, Bryce Turang, Bobby Witt Jr.
Great defense, Bryce Turang.
Bobby Witt Jr. And outfielders,
Byron. A double play shortstop combination of Bobby Witt Jr. and Bryce Turang. That might be the best double play combination in the world.
And the outfielders, Byron Buxton, Corbin Carroll, Pete Crow, Armstrong, PCA, and Aaron Judge. And DH, Kyle Schwarber. That's a good squad.
What?
It's a good squad. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah.
That's a damn good squad.
All good squads. I mean, the top 4 that I predict: Team Japan, USA, Dominican Republic is seemingly on a quest. They've won it once. They won back in 2017, and then last year got ousted early, and it was very embarrassing for them. Not last year, excuse me, 2023. The last one got ousted early. And it was a surprise upset. And being over there at the beginning of the year and talking to a lot of the officials, especially a very dear friend of mine, former teammate of mine, Junior Noboa, who is the commissioner of Dominican baseball in all aspects, not just professional but amateur. He literally looked at me and said, "We are gunning. This is we are going for it." Also, same thing by Carlos Pena. Yeah. When I asked him the question, what do you guys expect for Team Dominican Republic? He goes, there is no losing. I mean, he literally says,
no option.
There is no option.
No option.
We are putting together the best team that we can put together. And they are power-filled, offense, defense, pitching. So this is truly an all-star. Now, the catch is this. I'm going to tell you all. The key is, again, always number one, health. How healthy are each of the players? By healthy, I mean, how do you matriculate through using a guy so he doesn't get hurt?
Right.
You can go back to two super all-stars ended up, probably having not shortened their career because Edwin Diaz is fully come back, but missed a full season by getting hurt, as we say in Spanish, comiendo mierda, eating shit, where he jumped up after a win and broke his ankle and missed the whole season. Was his knee or his ankle? I can't remember which one it was, but tore something, and that was that in celebration. Big mistake. Teixeira got hurt during one of the.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it was never really the same after that injury because he was older. So health is key, and then the other thing is how quick can players get into semi-mid-season form?
Yeah,
right.
They're starting early.
Because they're starting early, and then what it entails. But here's the catch: players are training 24/7 nowadays.
Yeah,
they're doing something. They're doing something. Whether it's they might pitchers obviously don't throw. Hitters might take a few weeks off, but they're training.
Right back in the cage. Yeah.
They're training. They're eating right. They're doing other core body things. So players are coming into spring training comparative to 20, 30, definitely 40 years ago. At a completely different peak
level, yeah.
So the biggest thing is arm injuries, and they'll be on top of that. All right. By the way, Shohei Ohtani is not pitching in the WBC this year.
Oh, okay.
He's only going to be hitting.
Only hitting. Right? By the way, huge shout out to Texas Roadhouse of Wesley Chapel.
Oh, how can we not?
Man, I'm always starving when we do these shows. So I'm like,
you got a sandwich. I see.
I know. I took
for you
one,
right here.
but I don't want a sandwich.
No,
I want a ribeye.
When you get a
baked
ribeye with a baked potato,
like start the side salad
and their bread that they bring you beforehand, they get the buttery bread.
God,
oh, jeez. You and I were just talking about how much we love
like
bread.
When you walk in, you smell the steaks.
Oh, you
because
smell the steaks.
The kitchen's right to the
it's
right
like
where they hand cut the steak.
It's buttery.
It's
the best description I can tell you. And great service,
so good.
Great location right there on Highway 56. Take a trip up there. There are several Texas Roadhouse in the area, but TRWC in Wesley Chapel, by far award-winning, and I think the best of the best.
Yeah, because the guy who runs it's pretty good.
Tyler Hamilton.
And he cares.
Yes.
How many places you go in a restaurant these days? You go in, service sucks, food's awful, you pay $1 gazillion.
Yes.
Because it's usually, just the people that run it
it's just Well, the key
all the time, by the way.
When you're going to be spending, this isn't a fast food place. No. This is an actual, family sit down place, or even individually, because the bar atmosphere is phenomenal.
Great place to watch games.
The bartenders are exceptional. Ask for Jenny if she's there whenever you pop in. But it's the service, and that's one thing that I think Tyler brings to the table so well, is that he makes it adamant that it's a great experience for the people. So
that's why they've been there for so long.
They've been there so long. They've been top of their class, and they're packed.
Yeah.
So get there early and enjoy a great meal.
And the great folks at Kingmakers Tampa right here. Go to kingmakerstampa.com and you can become a member of this fabulous place we're in right now. You even use this production studio. And the Murphy Auto Group and Genesis of Tampa.
Yes.
Great folks. Last month they were doing a portion of every sale went to USF women's soccer.
How neat is that?
Really cool.
Mike Murphy, the owner of Murphy Auto Group, is always thinking of creative things. In fact, at the end of the month, I'll be taking a trip with him to Augusta, Georgia, and we do a yearly commemorative game between Payne College, and I forget who they're playing this year, but it's also the benefit in HBCU College.
Oh, nice.
So he's very involved. He owns a few dealerships up in the Augusta area, and I can't say enough about Mike Murphy and what he does. Not only is, you're talking about, and again, he's also a limited partner in the Rays, because not only does he believe in it, but he loves baseball, loves golf. His father, may rest in peace, Dennis Murphy, was a pitcher with the Los Angeles Dodgers back in the day, and he passed that on to Mike. But the beauty of Mike is, not only is he a businessman that makes money because he's smart, but he gives back.
Yes.
And charity and community.
That's what we love.
Entail to what we've been talking mostly about in the show with this legacy deal. He personifies what this legacy deal is. A businessman of that sort.
So true. So true. So great folks over there, but they'll also sell you a great car. I mean, we want to talk them up as a business, but when it comes down to it, it's the deal.
Yeah.
And these are great cars with great value, luxury, technology, and great service as well. So
and a good price.
Yeah, a fantastic price. We love them all. All right, you want to hit some questions here real quick?
Yeah, we got some. That'd be great.
Yeah. Michael LaRue says, what's going on with the Rays TV deal? Will fans be able to watch the MLB TV app, or will they be blacked out? Will we have to pay an extra fee to watch?
Interesting that he brings that up.
Okay. Do you have some information?
Well, I mean, they this week, I guess it was just this past week, where most of the teams are joining in and jumping into the MLB TV deal. So
will not be blacked out.
Will not be blacked out. I think it's going to be, $20 a month.
Yeah.
On average. So you'll be able to. Now, I don't believe that all the games are on there. I mean,
no, there's going to be
a certain schedule of games, and then they're going to be opportunities for local deals.
I think they're going to have a local station here. Yeah, very much like the Lightning model.
The Lightning did, right?
Yeah, so which is Script Sports. So I think there's a couple of local stations that are bidding on it.
Right.
But I think last year WTOG Channel 44 did 15 games.
Yeah.
They might be picking up all the games.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be an option to see it on local TV. Now, whatever package you have, you're paying for that. So if you're paying for Spectrum, Frontier, even YouTube TV that has a local TV package.
So let me ask you, I'm curious. So if let's say, for example, the Lightning has got Scripps, right? And are they putting on every Lightning game now?
Yeah.
Scripps is putting on every Lightning game, right? So
if you go get an HD TV antenna right now, if you don't want to spend $100 a month for your Spectrum or
all that
YouTube
deal.
TV, you can get all the games.
Yeah.
You'll probably be able to get the Rays and the Lightning games for free.
If they do a deal with like Scripps or somebody,
which I think they will. Yeah, they haven't announced that yet.
They haven't announced it, but it looks like something like that.
They have to have a local option. It won't just.
They have to have a local option. Yeah. So the MLB TV then would be a different broadcast production.
Yeah, no, same production.
So you technically, if you have both,
it's going to be Dwayne, BA, Rich, Doug.
So the MLB TV is they're just, and I believe that's now taken over by ESPN, if I'm not mistaken.
No. I don't think MLB TV is their production partner. It used to be Diamond Sports, I think.
But think that's ESPN.
Is it ESPN?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But
I think they sourced it out to ESPN.
Yeah. Well, however they produce it, it will be produced in a very professional way.
Oh no,
it will be terrible.
100%.
It'll look great.
Well, and
we'll have our local people.
They have are fantastic.
Yeah. So I think it's going to get better. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's going to be better opportunity for you. I mean, you gotta pay for your local stations like you always do, but I think it's going to be included. Mike H says, Big O, could you get a gig with the new Rays broadcast team? I'd like to see that. I don't want to lose you, but
now we'll see.
Maybe this podcast will become the official podcast of the Rays.
I would welcome that.
Yeah,
primarily.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I would welcome that because in this day and age, the way that we digest sports is a multiplicity of ways, but predominantly, like we just aforementioned, you have the local TV and then you have streaming, but you also have this type of scenario where it's a little bit more not only fan friendly, but it is fan friendly, but engaging, but just more homey, you know, and that's the type of person that I am. I know it's the type of person you are. So what I would welcome, and we are kind of, delving in and having some talks and hopefully, culminating, and we'll have some information for you guys, but to be able to cover them on the day-to-day and have it be a true X's and O's, but also kind of, creative, fun show, engaging with you guys, the fans,
bringing on local celebrities
and bringing on local
politicians,
people. And then honestly,
Rays fans.
Still, what I really want to do this coming season too is breaking down things and doing more demos and things that I'm,
you could do right behind you.
What I do right behind me, right there,
mic you up.
So we'll plan to do those kind of as a special feature and throw those out, and we can kind of encapsulate those. Obviously, we're living a day and age where you button things up and throw it out to you guys. As far as the actual pre and post, yet to be determined, but I enjoy this median, and I think it fits me very well.
It does. You need to be part of it. There's no question about it. Mike H says, Big O, thanks for sharing stories about your mom. Yes, 10, 11, and 12 are very impressionable years for kids. To have a teacher that shows you a path besides your family is a very powerful thing.
Love that. And who was that, by the way?
That was Mike H.
Mike H., thank you so much, man. God bless you, because I think you can't not, and it ties in this. Like I told you, sports and education kind of run across each other. But that 10, 11, 12, it's just like having the right coach at that age. And at 10, 11, 12, what ends up happening in the sports world, think about it for a second, in the sports spectrum of an amateur sport guy that likes football, basketball, whatever it is, hockey, you start kind of tuning out your dad. You start tuning out things. So you lean towards another voice, right? So a good coach becomes someone that gets and helps you, and it helps you to be a positive athlete in high school, maybe play some college ball, whatever level that you fully reach. You remember that, even if you don't, but you just remember that coach. I see teaching in the same vein. And around 10, 11, 12, you think you got your feathers all, and I don't want to listen to mom, and I don't want to. That's where, because I used to visit my mom's school a lot. I probably visited her classroom over a dozen times as an adult, and I, especially in when there was an opportunity right before spring training that I would have to report, or even after I retired, and I had a little bit of freedom to go visit her class, or during the winter when we weren't, playing, I would pop into her class, and it was always a big thing. And I would but I watched her become this impact on that age group of 10, 11, 12 that I think is imperative,
huge
for kids to have that influence, because you're not always listening to your folks all the time. But if you have a negative impact of a teacher, it's going to affect you. If you have baseline, indifferent, it doesn't help you. But if you have that good one, the great one, trust me, those are memorable, and you never forget them.
They pour into you. Yeah, it's so key, and not much anymore. Unity Gods, hello to you. Said, I understand the deal is still a long way from being done. However, the aggressive timeline the Rays have, when could we see a deal signed if things go well? I know that the plan is to be at 2029. So they need a deal done in the first quarter.
Yes.
Now, there'll be some consternation from the typical naysayers in politics and in, the constituency. We don't need to rush this through and blah, blah, blah. We actually do.
Yeah.
And
kind of do.
And we're not rushing anything. It's been 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these guys, by the way, this ownership group, we reported on them last February. We broke the story. They've been putting this thing together for a long time. Right. So this is not, hey, we got the team now, let's go. They've been working behind the scenes for a long time to get this framework, and they kind of have that framework already. Now, the funding sources are going to be kind of this is where the negotiation begins. This is where it gets a little interesting, and they're going to have to work on a tight timeline. The numbers really are out there. They're not going to change. We just got to swallow hard for some people and get it done and get it started, because I know their timeline is very important, because they're dependent on getting the revenue coming in to make this all work.
Correct.
If they push it back another year, that's going to make, it's going to change all the numbers, and it makes things way more difficult. So
the bottom line
things get more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The bottom line, I feel, I'm not trying to dumb it down and simplify it, but as you just said and started with, is how quick the municipalities can come together and come to an agreement on the numbers and the way. Because if it's done in the first quarter, then things can move swiftly.
I think the Braves did theirs in 27 months.
Yeah, if it's not, then that you're off a year for sure.
Yeah, which is not horrible.
Which is not terrible.
They can play another year in the Trop.
Yeah,
that's not
100%.
a problem. But the WBC in 29 could host that
national championship.
Huge then that gets you the All-Star game in 30.
Yeah.
If you only have you have your stadium for 1 year and then you get the All-Star game, unless you have a stadium that looks like the Trop, then you don't get one.
Yeah, no, but I meant by national championship is that I believe
that's
we
right,
have the national championship here in 29.
Yeah, so they want that
would be
entertainment
crazy.
district done. Yeah.
Well, the entertainment district, I mean, parts of it will be done, would you think? But not a whole heck of a lot of it,
I would think most of it would be done.
You think by 29 that a good chunk of the
bars and restaurants
beyond,
sure,
bars and restaurants,
we don't have to put a roof on those. Well, I mean, you need a roof, but not that kind of roof. Those roofs are hard. That's what takes time.
Yeah. I'm just jonesing on just having the stadium. And
listen, if you're investing, $4, $5, $6 million into a restaurant build out,
you want it quick.
You want it ready for the national championship game. You want to bring in that $2 million of revenue in that 1 week.
Well, swoop.
Yeah, hell yeah, you do. It's a big deal. It's like Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like Super Bowl coming. If you build in a restaurant and the build outs, and that's what they cost these days. You want a big event to recoup a huge part of that cost right off the top
in a weekend.
Get things rolling
in a 4-day long weekend.
Heck yeah,
buddy.
Golly, I get so excited to think about it. Michael LaRue says Vegas has the Rays over under at 77.5 wins. Are you taking the over or the under?
I'm taking the over. Right off. Yeah.
I am too.
77.5? Yeah. Yeah, they'll win. They'll sneak in over 80 wins this year.
That pitching staff should put you at
it's just listen, without getting into the particulars, because again, injuries and certain things, there's a couple guys that I think are going to be really outstanding. I believe. I think Uceta is going to turn the corner and have back-to-back first half, second half, like the second half that he had last year. If that guy comes in mixed with Jax, you shorten the game to a 7-inning game.
Yeah,
right.
Great point.
If those two guys are on point, you're playing a 7-inning game, and because you have enough other guys to fill in the void from 5 to 7. Right. You got Clevenger and you got Baker. You can mix and match, and then you drop the hammer of 8 and 9 with Jax and Uceta. And give them a little breather here and there, that shortens the game. So now it becomes about the other thing, which is how well do you defend in order to win? Instead of losing the 4-3 games, you're winning the 4-3 games. Listen, pay attention to how from now to the end of the season, how many 4-3 games are in that realm the Rays play. If they're on the upside of the 4-3 games, that's going to be the difference. So how can you score 4 runs, get to 3.84 on a daily average of run scoring? The other guy that I think is going to be key, mark my words, I think is going to be the kid Carson Williams. I think I heard him speak recently and very impressed with his transparency of I struggled. I needed to struggle. I needed to be shown up that I wasn't ready for this thing.
Yeah.
But if he makes some bro, that kid he's got
some game.
He's got some game, bro.
And I'm gonna throw out in my first series against the Cubs, Sugar Shane, Ryan Pepio, and Drew Rasmussen.
Yeah. So our Art,
good luck with that.
If Shane is at 85 to 90, and then the other two are just continue what they did last year and be greater and be all-star caliber, which is very capable for Pepio and Rasmussen. Now you've got a 1-2-3 punch that's dramatic.
And you fill it out with Steven Matz.
That one's a question mark for me. I'm gonna be candid for you. I'm usually pretty positive on everything. I don't know. Kyle Snyder's gonna have to be, do some of his magic, which he has in the past. But I was way more comfortable with with Matz being a reliever and showing greatness there than a starter. So that one's the jury's still out for me on that one. But
Joe Boyle,
super positive. You know, the lefty Ian Seymour, super positive. So if that's your 4-5 for most of the season, and you have to kind of regulate Matz to the bullpen if he struggles. Listen, it's always good to have an extra lefty quality arm to add to Clevenger. I'm okay with that. So then it becomes a situation where if Carson, fits and does what he can, which is hit 250, drop 20 bombs, drive in 80, he's capable of that, and play Gold Glove shortstop. And every now and then, you're using arguably the best shortstop in Major League Baseball, and Taylor Walls popping in when need be. Because he has glove will, instead of the old saying is have bat will travel, he has glove will travel. So, his defense plays whether he's starting or it doesn't. Then, it goes down to the big boppers are 4, Junior Caminero, Yandy Diaz, Aranda, and what can we get from Cedric Mullins?
Right.
All right. And then that's where you're going to score those 4 runs a game.
That would be, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yee 1337 says, I know they won't, but if the owners extended Junior right now, I bet even Twitter trolls would trust this group a lot more.
No need to extend him right now. There's too much commotion, too much things that, to decide. Junior's there. Junior's what? He's going to be 22 this year, I think, this season. I think he's even fine with that. Let him go out and hit 40 home runs again, and then put the hammer on them to then really, tie him up. You may see it during the season if he's having a phenomenal first half, something like that. But realistically, that's something that will probably happen. I wanted to see it happen because that is a commitment. But then when all these numbers and all the situations and all the magistry of the legacy deal is in the forefront, if you've been following our show since inception here back in September, you could see, especially this baseball offseason, that I turned my sights and all of a sudden said the free agent signing for the Rays is the legacy deal.
Yeah. I was just
that's the massive Shohei Ohtani signing.
By the way, if you're worried about Junior, getting money, his pre-arbitration bonus pool, remember they did that for rookies?
For rookies.
You perform really, really well, you get a bonus. It's nice, $1.068
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he made well more than his salary.
Right.
What's minimum now?
770, something like
775. So he made $1 million,
almost $2 million
in a bonus. That's
well deserved.
Well deserved.
In the relativeness.
I mean, because if he paid at the free agent level,
or even forget about free agent arbitration level.
Yeah,
arbitration level, you'd be at $10 million.
Screwball got what, 35? He won
32.
32.
Yeah.
Is that the highest arb?
Yes.
Deal ever
for a pitcher.
For
a pitcher. No, I don't think it was the highest for an everyday.
Damn. Rick says Kennesaw State academics said that MLB will fail here. Also, per Al Gore, Florida will be underwater by 2025.
He also
very nice, Rick.
He also invented the internet too.
He did.
I don't know if you knew that.
Did. Yes, he did. Of course. I love seeing those old clips from him. If you don't do this, look at the map of Florida. In 2014, the entire state will be underwater.
Where's he living now? Fort Lauderdale?
I got to go get on my private jet.
You hear what I said? Where's he living now? Fort Lauderdale?
On the beach.
Like most of the Democrats are.
They just bought a beachfront home for $5 million. Yeah, shocking. Alejandro Noriega says sports brings people together depending on what state you come from, because all due respect, New Yorkers and Philadelphia fans are toxic no matter which sport.
Wow.
Football, hockey. But I will say this, man, they are toxic, but they come together, man. They tell you what, they pack their stadiums.
Yeah.
They come together. They may be a-holes, but man, I respect their fandom and how they show up.
Yeah.
They show up as a-holes a lot, but man, they show up. I would like to see us show up a lot better, quite frankly.
Oh my God.
I'd like to see our fan base a lot more positive about our new owners as well.
Yeah.
I think we need to get a little bit more positivity going and understand that this is a new group and it's not the old group. Andre Alday says the stadium looks like a cheese head.
Like a cheese head? Like
there's a triangular slice of pizza feeling to it from above.
Maybe a pizza, but I wouldn't have thought
from the angle that they put it out. It looks like a little bit like that, but
yeah,
it's okay. You won't be looking at it from that angle.
No, I don't believe so.
Andre Alday says prayers and condolences to your family.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He also says the new renderings of Tampa Bay Rays are beautiful. Let's get this thing built. Hell yeah. Give me some positivity, bro.
Let's get it built, man. And let's do it right for everybody, owners and the community. That's the key. Yeah. Legacy. Absolutely.
AI makes people passive learners. No, makes them dumb because we don't use our brain. He also says, mi hermano cubana, mothers leave more than a mark. They leave a dent.
Bro.
Especially Cuban moms. A dent in their head.
Yeah, my mom was a pincher. She was she was a pincher in church, and we're out in at a family gathering.
That hurts.
Man, she was a pincher, bro. She would just go. She never laid her, a chancleta, as we say, which is a flip flop. That was my dad, but my mom was a pincher, and would just hold on, and you try to get away, and she'd hold on to it. She'd hold on to your skin and go, "¿Qué te dije?" Famous words from Cuban moms is, you remember this phrase, ¿Qué te dije? ¿Qué te dije is, what did I tell you?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I wonder what that was.
¿Qué te dije? ¿Qué te dije? This is after you pissed her off so much that she's been telling you, stop that.
What did I tell you?
What did I tell you? ¿Qué te dije? And you're like, okay.
Alex Nunn says, huge fan of you, Orestes. I met you 2 years ago at a Rays game. One of the most lighthearted people out there. Continue to stay blessed and praying for you during this time. Much love to you and JP. Thank you, Alex. He's a good man.
Yeah.
Long-time listener. Devin Garnett said, just lost my grandmother at 93 this week. My prayers are with you and your family.
You understand what we're talking about.
Man.
Hopefully.
I never had a good grandparent.
No.
I missed that.
I got my older kids. My older kids are flying in on Monday. They were so close to.
I'm gonna be the best granddad ever.
That's the thing, man. Yeah, you're gonna kill. I'm gonna kill granddad.
I'm gonna crush
being a granddad. I'm an Opa already. They call me Opa.
Opa, is that it?
Yeah. My two that I have.
What's my granddad name gonna be?
J-Pa.
Pops. Kind of like Pops.
Yeah.
J-Pops.
J-Pops.
How about J-Pops?
I like
JP.
I like J-Pops. We might have come up with something. Let's call the boy let's call your boy in Chicago, because I know he's staying busy.
I got a long way for that to go. Trust me.
Does he have a girlfriend?
Not currently.
He's enjoying life.
He's 6'4".
He's a big boy. Every time I see a picture of him, he's towering over you.
Gorgeous kid.
He is, bro.
He's absolutely
a really
most handsome,
good-looking kid.
The girls I watch him walk around in the bars in Chicago, and I'm up there, and they're all like
the old one. So he's good looking boy. Don't have a kid anytime soon.
Yeah,
no rush.
I want to, but now my daughter, my beautiful daughter, she wants to have children so bad.
She's in Nash Vegas.
Yeah, she's busy with her career.
Nashville.
And
good for
you
her.
boys. You know what you're missing. She's awesome. She's the best. But she's very selective,
and she should be about her career right now. No rush.
Or no rush.
You're strong enough and young enough to enjoy your grandkids soon enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once you do get them, though, I will say Sadie and Hank for me are the bomb. I don't see them enough because they're in Austin, but I'm going to be taking the trip to Austin.
Yeah. Alejandro Noriega said, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the Tigers signing Framber Valdez, especially after Scooball breaking the bank with his arbitration cases? This writing on the wall of a trade soon?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big signing. Obviously, he went the route of our local hero here, two local heroes in Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker, where they went shorter years. Framber was trying to get a 5-year deal. He is 32, got a 3-year deal, but at around, what is it? The AAV is, I think, 38.
It's good money.
36, somewhere in that crazy vicinity. I was a little surprised that it took that long to sign him, but he did have the controversial issue last year, plunking his own catcher on purpose. Remember that one?
Right.
Where he purposely crossed up his catcher because he was pissed at him and he hit him with a fastball. So he's been known to be a little contentious. But I also been known to be a hell of a sinker thrower.
Yeah.
And a guy that just, gets a lot of soft contact, wins a lot of games. This puts Detroit in an enviable position because they're 1-2-3 right now with him. Obviously, the greatest pitcher in the game, bar none. When I say that in school ball, having played the game at the level I played, there is no better pitcher than Tarek Skubal. I'm telling you, he's devastating. And
he's a bulldog too.
Yeah, he's devastating. And Flaherty, their 1-2-3 is arguably the best in the game right now.
I think so.
So they're not trading Tarek. I think you'd be the only way that they're trading Tarek is they're like completely done come July trade deadline, and they just get a slew of young talent. But I don't see that happening. Their team is pretty damn good. Remember, this team was on the precipice of going to the World Series themselves.
I hate to do this because I know we said we'd do 45 minutes today, but we're well over that.
Don't worry about it.
But we got to talk about this real quick at the end. Emmanuel Clase.
What's the latest news? I haven't seen it.
Guess how many games
they suspended him?
No, guess how many games they think that he threw suspicious pitches to benefit bettors.
This just came out?
Yeah. 48.
No.
48.
This from what source?
This is from, according to the federal prosecutors, listed 9 games in which he allegedly threw rigged pitches in the indictment, unsealed in November. But teammate and alleged co-conspirator Luis Ortiz, attorney, wrote in a filing that the government is accusing Clase of manipulating his performance in dozens of games. 48, to be exact, is in the actual case.
Yeah, that changes the narrative quite a bit.
Yeah,
because if it was 1 or 2, you kind of can fight that and create suspicion of doubt, right? But if they have valid information that can show upwards of dozens of games, that's nasty. Unnecessarily nasty. By the way, we've already talked about it on the show. I could even see Luis, his teammate, who was not nearly making the money that Clase this past year was already making $10 or $12 million. So he was already
$20 million.
Oh, was he at 20 already?
20.
Okay.
Just signed a 5-year, $20 million. Oh, sorry. Wait, Clase, 3-time All-Star, was on the 4th season of a 5-year, $20 million contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
right.
he was on the upper edge. So his contract was one of those sweetheart deals. So he was like at $4 or $5 million the first couple of years. He was in the 10, 11 coming in last year of that deal where it's backloaded.
Yeah.
There was no need for him to get an extra hundreds of thousands of dollars.
According to prosecutors, the two accepted thousands of dollars in bribes to help two
not hundreds of thousands. Thousands.
To help 2 unnamed gamblers in the Players Native Dominican Republic win at least $460,000.
Those are the guys that made the hundreds.
Yeah, and those are the guys, they may go to jail.
This is silly. And again, I always wish the best for players, even when they make dramatic, egregious mistakes like this.
Yeah.
But holy shit. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. For these other kids, what not to do.
Yeah, buddy.
It will definitely be.
There'll be other Class A's coming up the ranks.
Right.
That's the one thing I noticed visiting Dominican Republic. They have arms and will travel.
All right, partner. Again, condolences.
Thank
but
you.
Man,
Thank
you had
you,
a great
everybody.
one. You had a great one.
Those great comments, and have a great weekend. I'm picking the Seahawks because of their running back, who I think is phenomenal.
Okay.
The one kid,
Kenneth Walker Jr. Yeah.
Holy shnikey. He's the closest that I remember. And I'm saying, not close, but,
Are you going to say Barry Sanders?
Barry Sanders.
I knew you were going to say
Dude,
He's good.
he runs sideways.
He's good.
He runs sideways. He doesn't go sideways. He runs sideways.
I will. I'll take the Patriots and the points, but I think
You take the
Seattle
Patriots. What's the points at? 7.5?
I think it's 4.5.
Oh, it's lower than that. Okay.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Well, enjoy, my friend. You guys have a great weekend as well.
God bless
Go
you guys.
Rays. Let's get positive on the stadium, folks.
Yes.
Stop all this negativity. Yes.
Legacy, la legacia, por favor. Tranquil, tropical. Love you guys.